Okay, so with these questions, the first thing we always need to do is find the percentage that we want to increase or decrease by, and then we'll either add or subtract that from the original, okay? So I'm just going to write up here, yeah, you can see that. So 1, find percentage, 2, add or subtract from original. Okay, so for the first one, so we're increasing this amount by 10%. So the first thing we need to do is work out what 10% is of 120. So the way we did it before, we know that 100% is the £120. So to find 10%, we would divide both sides by 10, because 100 divided by 10 would give you 10. Which means that we've also got to do 120 divided by 10, which is £12. Okay, now increase means that the amount is getting bigger. So it means that the 10% that we found, we're going to be adding it on to the 120. So we'll do 120, the amount that we started with, plus the 10%, which was the £12, and we get £132, and that's my final answer. Okay. So similarly for the next one, first thing we need to do is work out what 35% is of 50 grams. So I'm going to start with 100%. So 100% is equal to the 50 grams. So to find 35, I'm going to find 30. And then I'm going to find 5. Okay, and then I can add those together. So start with 10%. So to get 10%, we need to divide both sides by 10. So that would be 5 grams. So to find 30, you would multiply 10 by 3, which means we need to multiply this by 3, which is 15 grams. Okay, we also need a 5, so we know that the 10% was 5 grams, so we can actually just divide the 10 by 2 to get 5, which means that we'll divide this 5 grams by 2, which is 2.5 grams. So we want the 30% and the 5%. So if we add those together, we'll get 35%. 35%, which would be 7.5 grams. Now this time, because we are decreasing, it means that the amount is going to be getting smaller, so it means that we're going to subtract the 35%, so the 17.5 grams, away from 50. So we do 50 grams, subtract 17.5 grams, which is 32.5 grams. Okay, and that's the final answer for that one. Okay. Next one, again, I'm just going to do exactly the same method. So we're going to start off with finding 12% of 750. So to begin with, I'm going to have 100% is 750 grams. So I'm going to find 10% and then find 2% and then add them together. So 10% must be this divided by 10. So 75. We can go straight from 10 to 2, because if we divided 10 by 5, that would give us 2%, which means if I do the same thing to the other side, divide that by 5, which is 15 grams. Okay, so we wanted the 10 and we wanted the 2, because them 10 and 2 added together makes 12. So 12% will be those two added together, which is 90 grams. Okay, looking at the wording, it says increase. That means I'm going to add it on to the original. So 750 grams plus 90 grams. And that gives us 840 grams. Okay. Next one, so 60% is quite nice to work out. So 100% is the £55. So I'm going to start off with finding 10% by dividing by 10, which is £5.50. Okay, I'm just going to write 5.5, but you can add the 0 if you want to. So 60% must be 10% times by 6, which means I need to times this by 6 as well, which I think is 33, but I will check. Yep, good, 33. So that's that part. It says decrease, so that means I'm going to be subtracting it. So it's going to be £55 subtract £33, which is 22. Okay. Now I've added a final one in. This will only happen with increasing because you can't decrease by more than 100%, but they do sometimes ask you to increase by more than 100%. But again, it's not too difficult. The first thing we need to do is find 150%. So to do that, I'm going to do 100, and then I'm going to find 50, and then add them together, and then we can then increase it. So start off with 100% is the amount that they started with, so 440 grams. We can find 50% quite nicely. We can just divide 100 by 2, because that gives you 50, which means we divide the other side by 2 as well, which is 220 grams. Which means that 150% must be these two added together, which is 660 grams. Okay. Again, the wording says increase, that means we're going to be adding it to the original. So we're going to do 440 plus the 150% we've just worked out. And they add up to make 1,100 grams. And that's the final answer.